Hello, everybody. How are all the critters doing today? Trying to lock down a schedule so I can be consistent on streaming and we can have more streams together and have a lot more fun. Hopefully this will work out and we can get that schedule going. Today is Friday night. I thought we would get together, talk for a little bit. I could share with you guys some commercials that I grew up with on television. I know a lot of people don't watch commercials really anymore today. Everything is streaming and on demand, so the only commercials you really get are the ads that you skip on YouTube. But, back when I was growing up, commercials were something you actually sometimes even looked forward to. It was fun. It was a good distraction. They put effort into their commercials back then. Not so much anymore. If they're not AI generated now, it's just buy this, buy this, buy this. And then after that, I thought we could play the Neverhood. I had quite a hard time getting this game to run. It's an older game, and it runs on Windows 95, which, if some of you don't know, still incorporated MS-DOS. It was really just a shell on top of MS-DOS. So it's not a native program to Windows. And yeah, you can run it in an emulator, but I wanted to try to get around that because that kind of makes it choppy. And hopefully I've done that. Tried to test it out a little bit. I haven't played it again. I haven't played it since my kids were young. Probably, let's see. Probably 16 years, 15 years. But it's a fun game. If you like claymation, if you like Wallace and Gromit, this game is for you. If you like solving puzzles, this game is for you. It's a fun game. Not much has happened since Wednesday. We're just living life here in the garden. Still waiting for another critter cam to show up so I can share you guys the rest of the chicken yard, and our little ladies can have some more fun. Let's see. Let's take a look and see how they're doing. How are they? Can we see them? There they are. Yeah. So as you can see, they're coming in and out of their yard here, out into the bigger yard. It's been really, really hot, so mostly they've been congregating underneath the chicken coop where it's nice and cool. And they've got their dust bath under there. So far today I've gotten 7 eggs. I went out and I gave them half a head of lettuce with some eggshell put in, kind of boost their calcium levels. And I was happy to see 7 eggs lying there for me. All right. See them playing around out there. It's always good to see them having fun. They've got a pretty big area to play around with, so I've been having some fun with my newfound treasure, my Nintendo DS, and getting my games to work in there. I played a little Mario Kart and a couple of other games. I played some Harvest Moon, played that, and some new Mario Brothers. I've forgotten how many games I had for that Nintendo DS. It's a lot of fun. Just gonna take a little water break here. Okay, that feels better. So what else have I been doing? Mostly just cleaning up, getting some weeds pulled, some intrusive bushes cut down that aren't supposed to be around. I have to build up the courage to take down an old planter and put up a raised garden bed. Last time I tried, I got attacked by a swarm of wasps, and that was not fun. So I think this weekend I'm going to put on my bee suit and an extra layer of clothes and try it again and see if those nasty little buggers are still in there, or if maybe they've moved on. Hopefully they've moved on and I won't get stung all to heck again. I'm just starting to heal from last time. That was not fun at all. Okay. Got a new follower the other day. Welcome, Zer Kelsey. Thank you for following. I really do appreciate it. I like to see people coming in. It makes me very happy to get that message saying that I've got a new follower. You know, this is all very brand new for me, and I'm just enjoying the fun of it. I'd love to have people on the stream with me so we could interact real time. Hoping people saw the messages and hopefully they'll come and join us. And, you know, enjoy the things that I have in store for them. Let's see. In fact, let's send out a message real quick. Let's go on the Twit X and we'll say, hey, people, come on over. Join me, we're live, and let's see, join me, we're live. Give them a little taste of what's in store for when they come. Figure we'll let them know we're going to be watching commercials from the 70s and 80s, things I grew up with, and you know, a little nostalgia bait. Have them come on in and see these things. I haven't really watched the clips that I'm going to be showing, but I'm sure it's going to bring back a ton of memories for me, and hopefully, maybe, you know, if you're old enough, maybe for you too. And we'll send that out, and hopefully people will stop on by. All right. Let's see. I've ordered a new soundboard, and that should be in later on today, maybe tomorrow. And nothing too fancy, you know, it's just a small $15 starter soundboard. Just something I can try to get levels correct with and not have to futz about with too much during the stream. And if you watched my other videos, you know I'm a Temu shopper. Get a lot of good deals there. You do get what you pay for, you know, but I've been pleasantly surprised with what I've gotten from there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This board I've ordered seems to have a lot more options to it than the one I currently have. So hopefully it'll work out well. Still waiting on some more toys for the ladies to put out in the yard, and another shade cloth. Hopefully we'll get that in, get that heat off of these girls. The one I did get was about, I think it was 15 foot by 10 foot. Oh, hello there, Bella. How are you today? Nice to see you. Just talking about some of the toys I'm getting for the ladies, the chickens here that you can see in the upper right hand. Yeah, sure. I'd love to give you a follow back, Bella. Glad to have you here. I hope you have some fun. We're going to be looking at some commercials from the 70s and 80s. We're going to be playing the Neverhood from 1996. And just having a good old time talking, chatting, and doing some nostalgia here. So hopefully it'll all work out well. And like I said before, I'm very new at this, so if we have technical difficulties, I'm sorry. I'm going to muddle through as best I can. Okay. And let's see. All right, let's start with commercials from the 70s. If we can, let's turn on our television and see what we can find.
When I was a kid, the closest you could get me to a fish was the aquarium. Now, thanks to McDonald's,
All right.
I'm the expert.
Can we hear this okay? I hope this is coming through all right.
But all McDonald's fish is U.S. government inspected grade A. And it's all prime white filet. No fish cakes, not ground up, not mixed with other fish. It's a filet of fish. The best-selling fish sandwich in America.
So I love these McDonald's and Wendy's commercials from long ago.
Quality you can taste.
It's almost as if fast food was, you know, gourmet, and they had to tell us that it was wonderful.
Einstein, if you got some mind, you can be the red, and you can be the green, and you can be the yellow, and you can be the blue. But don't you touch Einstein until he tells you to. Einstein's a computer that's lots of fun. Four can play or just
Einstein. I never played this, but I did play Simon a lot. And Simon was a single-player memory game that had, I think, 4 different colors, and it would go in different patterns, and you would have to match the patterns. But I never really saw Einstein. Didn't know that was a thing.
A brand new way to enjoy the great taste of Coke. The convenient 8-ounce California Compact.
I think they're really convenient. I think it's a good thing. I just think the smaller cans like that are just really come in handy.
It's funny because I see these now in the stores again. These smaller cans of Coke and Pepsi. And I remember these commercials for the compact and seeing them again. I mean, they're not the same wide, squat ones. They're more of a miniature average Coke, you know, proportional. But still, it's the same concept, a little half a drink rather than a whole can.
Going out swimming or going out to a rock to lay down, I can throw them in my purse.
There's only one soft drink available in the convenient new 8-ounce can. Aren't you glad it's Coke?
Those little 8-ounce cans are really...
It's kind of funny, you don't really remember some of the things you do growing up because it's just like second nature to you, but I remember the first time I made a conscious decision to either drink Coke or Pepsi, and it was after seeing a Michael Jackson commercial, and that was what made it. It made me realize in my head that there was a difference. You know, it wasn't just soda.
It's 48 for fun.
Number 2, how can you tell when a girl is a hick?
Oh my Lord.
When a girl is what?
If you don't know, this show is called The Dating Game. And there would be on one side of a curtain the bachelor or bachelorette, and on the other side 3 contestants of the opposite sex, and they would ask questions to see who would be compatible for a date. And some of the questions that they would ask and the answers that they would get is just, it's crazy that it would even be on television back then. I mean, it's very, very blue comedy. It's very much innuendos and raw comedy. It's fun to watch. The Dating Game was one of my favorites growing up. I would watch that with my aunt.
When a girl is a hick?
A hick.
A
She
hick.
don't flick my bick.
Oh, that was bad. Okay, same question, number 1.
How can I tell when a girl's a hick?
Right.
Well, it's either the cow manure on her boot, or either that or else a straw.
Oh, man.
Wait to catch The Dating Game, weekdays at 5 p.m.
Anyone for more coffee?
No, thanks.
Hon, you know I never have seconds.
I was beginning to think there was no instant coffee worth a second cup.
Oh,
It
man.
had powders, crystals, freeze-dried. Then I said, wait a minute. U-Ban makes such rich coffee, their instant has to be special. And is it ever? Instant U-Ban makes coffee that's so deliciously rich.
Could I have seconds first?
Instant U-Ban with rich.
Yeah, instant coffee was all the rage.
Clean. I mean, really clean. And it holds any set I want.
New beer-enriched shampoo, Body on Tap.
Beer enriched. Oh, my Lord.
Brewed with 1/3 real beer.
Wow.
But don't drink it. Just shampoo.
Don't drink your shampoo.
Curl it or blow it dry. It gives my hair super body, super hold.
And the shine of your life. It's the beer shampoo that does it in 3 bodybuilding formulas.
That's body.
On Tap.
How do you handle a hungry man? The manhandlers.
He's working up an appetite a manhandler can handle. Looks like my boy's grown up. He's ready for Campbell's manhandlers, like beef soup, juicy beef, and sun-ripened vegetables. A big tasting soup, a man-sized part of a man's meal.
The manhandlers.
It reminds me of Manwich.
Handlers.
Good.
Meet Kelly Blixton. She used to be a waitress. Today, thanks to technical school, she works as an electrician.
I'm really excited about.
You can tell from the hairstyles that this is from the late 70's, these commercials. It's, I mean, on The Dating Game, you have that, I'm going to really date myself here, that Vinnie Barbarino hairstyle, that afro type, full head of hair. And here we have the bob cut that you would see on Three's Company. It's you really tell from the 70's to the 80's just by the hairstyles alone.
My life, the possibilities. I like what I'm doing. I really like who I am.
Kelly Blixton changed her life by going to technical school.
My son's going to go to technical school. He's going to become an electrician.
111 Washington, D.C. 20044.
And it's a good career for him to get into. Most electricians right now, they're going to be retiring by the time he becomes a journeyman. So, I mean, he's going to be really in demand. So right now he's working a little bit. He's putting a lot of money away to pay for tech school. And he's going to become an apprentice, then a journeyman, then hopefully take his master's test, 4 to 8 years. Well, 4 years for his apprenticeship, then he becomes a journeyman. Then maybe 4 years after that, he'll be eligible to take the master's test. I imagine it'll take him a little more than 4 years to go from journeyman to master, but we'll see. He's a smart kid.
There's something special about a woman's touch. You do so much for so many. Yet some days you don't feel your best because of occasional irregularity. Then you take Correctol, the modern gentle laxative. Correctol's special formula combines a mild laxative with a softening agent. Its gentle overnight action will help you feel like yourself again. Next time, try Correctol, the modern gentle laxative so many women are using today.
Creativity can be fun with Crayola crayons and Crayola markers. Why Crayola markers? Here's our point. Skinny at the end, fat on the sides.
Yep.
So you can make broad strokes and thin lines. You can draw or write. We made our point so you can make your point. Crayola markers in a rainbow of colors. Crayola markers are a product of Binney & Smith. Crayola crayons and Crayola markers are sold separately.
Crayola's still the biggest name. Crayons.
I live in New Hampshire, but I love New York.
I live in North Carolina, but I love New York.
Call toll-free for our free 100-page vacation guide. It's filled with affordable vacation packages and ideas. Find out why outdoor lovers from the Carolinas to Canada love New York.
I live in Brooklyn, but I love New York. You can win a moped on this great giveaway day. Come on down to your Honda dealer, he's giving a moped away.
Win a Honda moped. Enter now through July 31st.
Oh, wow. Look at that bike. Look at that. Wow. So in case you don't know, a moped is a bicycle that has a small engine attached that you can use. It's a gasoline engine that you can use to assist the bike. Now that's different than a scooter. A scooter is just an engine. The moped has pedals, and you can use either the engine or the pedals. So, man, moped. I don't know, even today I'd love to have one of these things. It's great.
Motorcycle dealer. See him for his details on Honda's great giveaway days.
Summer's here and it's time for Honda's great giveaway day.
Oh, and in most states, pretty much all states I think, you don't need a motorcycle license for a moped. It's under 49 cc's, cubic centimeters, so you don't need a motorcycle license.
Come on down to your Honda dealer, he's giving a moped away.
Look at those coffee makers.
You can get a $10 rebate
Wow.
check from Mr. Coffee Royal Service. And look, $5 off this Mr. Coffee 200 model. And you get $7 off this Mr. Coffee 1212.
Now, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I imagine that this type of appliance is going to be in the Fantastic Four, just because of that look, that 70s look, that futuristic retro. I remember our coffee maker was, I think it was like an orange color, but it was a drip coffee maker like this. By the way, if you're gonna make coffee, if you like coffee, don't ever get a drip coffee maker. If you want really good coffee, get a percolator. Believe me, it's far and away the better coffee. The water cycles through the grinds and continues to draw that flavor out rather than just passing through it once like a drip coffee maker.
In fact, save money on 5 Mr. Coffee models. So pick up a Mr. Coffee and pick up a check in the mail. Right now, you can save up to $10.
I'll send you a check personally signed by me when you move up to Mr. Coffee.
A long
long time ago, in a galaxy
Oh, wow.
far away, Star Wars. An adventure unlike anything on your planet. It's an epic of heroes.
Yeah, I remember when these movies came out.
Villains, and aliens from 1,000 worlds. Star Wars, rated PG.
Now playing. Check newspapers for a theater near you.
That Tappan Range cooked a lot of meals for the Hansons back in the 50s, helped feed a family of 6 with no complaints. Now their son is moving the old Tappan to his home.
Star Wars came out in 1977. And, you know, I'm Gen X. I was around back then, but I was really little. So 77, I didn't see it in theaters, but I remember it coming out. I remember watching it a couple years later on television when they finally edited it and put it on TV. Crazy.
Because the Hansons have this new Tappan self-cleaning range.
Let's go back and take a look at that stove.
Now their son is moving the old Tappan
Look at that stove.
to his home.
You've got a broiler down the bottom, small oven.
He's cooked a lot of meals for the Hansons back in the 50s, helped feed a family of...
Check newspapers.
Let's rewind it just for a second.
That
Look at that stove. It's got, are those warmer cabinets on the side?
Tappan Range cooked a lot of meals for the Hansons back in the 50s, helped feed a family of 6 with no complaints. Now their son is moving the old Tappan to his home.
Look at that.
Because the Hansons have this new Tappan self-cleaning range with the microwave oven on top.
Oh my goodness, I remember those. Where the stove and the microwave were all in one piece. They were connected. And like the microwave did not connect to the cabinet up above it. It was supported by the stove. I mean, it may have been connected to the cabinet, I forget, but it was all one piece. The backsplash against the back of the stove, the vent hood was in the microwave. You know, they weren't two different units. And look at those dials, actual dials on the microwave. Not push buttons. Those are dials.
Pretty, Grandma.
After all these years, there's a whole new generation to cook for. And after all these years, a Tappan is still a Tappan.
Introducing the Zest bathtub test. In this tub, Zest.
Oh, and just so you know, that graininess, that's not a filter that I put on this video. This is a natural consequence of transcoding them from the VHS that they were probably stored on.
In this tub, your soap, Carol. Watch as we drain them.
The soap I use has left a definite bathtub ring, and there is not a ring with the Zest.
Now let's rinse.
The residue is not even coming off of this. It's going to be all over me.
So we asked her to try Zest.
Lathered up. Really nice. When you rinsed, it was awesome.
It's funny, Zest is still around. In fact, I use Zest.
The Zest made me feel really clean and fresh.
Try deodorant.
Zest fully clean.
Cleaner than soap feeling.
Clothes that deserve a second look. A second look deserve Woolite.
You'll look better in clothes you wash in Woolite. By hand or machine, Woolite in cold water is safe for all fine washables. Woolite's so safe, knits stay in shape. Lingerie stays soft. Colors stay bright and lively.
When clothes look and feel this nice, I feel beautiful in them.
Clothes that deserve a second look. A second look deserve Woolite.
Sue? Sue, what's wrong?
Oh, one of those headaches. Better get something strong. Strong, okay, but safety concerns me.
That's why I use Anacin. Tell her, Fred.
Sure, all of these are safe used as directed. But Anacin combines that safety with...
Anacin, I don't think Anacin is around anymore.
Any regular headache tablet.
Strength with safety. That's common sense.
Anacin combines safety you expect with extra strength you want.
Why do the Brooklyn High School football champs spend 1 week in hell before each season? Read about it in Brooklyn Magazine.
No, it's still around.
800-325-6400 to subscribe now. Brooklyn Magazine. Brooklyn has it all. How are Brooklyn doctors and pharmacists indirectly feeding drugs to teenage girls? Read about it in Brooklyn Magazine. Call toll-free 800-325-6400 to subscribe now. Brooklyn Magazine. Brooklyn has it all. What does Brooklynite Eli Wallach have to say about the quality of life in Brooklyn? Read about it in Brooklyn Magazine. Call toll-free 800-325-6400 to subscribe now. Brooklyn Magazine has it all.
Who's got that plain royal burger that is never fried? Burger King and I.
Some places fry their burgers, that's something we don't do. We broil our burgers on a flame, yeah, broil them just for you. Flame broil them just for you. At Burger King, we flame broil
Wow.
our burgers.
The effort they put into these commercials.
George and Judy are our closest friends, but I still would have felt embarrassed. They were due any minute for dinner. My husband Jim was helping with the glasses.
Donna, you better check these glasses.
They were spotty. We had to rewash them. Later, my mom said, well, if you had Cascade, you wouldn't have to worry about spot problem.
If you have spot problems, you really should try Cascade. Cascade sheeting action fights drops that spot, leaves dishes virtually spotless.
Cascade's still around?
Cascade really does do the job. It leaves my glasses practically spotless.
This is Aldo Cella.
Aldo Cella.
Ciao, Aldo.
He is not pretty. He is not powerful.
Aldo.
But Aldo Cella knows what women like. Cella Lambrusco.
He reminds me of the Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Red wine.
Cella.
Aldo.
A Coke and a smile. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel nice. That's the way it should be. I'd like to see.
Yeah, we were a Coca-Cola family growing up. We didn't really drink Pepsi.
Here comes the best of Creedence Clearwater Revival. 20 original super hits. Original CCR. Lodi, Looking Out My Back Door, Green River, Midnight Special, and the best of Creedence Clearwater Revival. 20 original hits.
Available at participating stores.
We put a little blue jean in everything we make.
First 100 years, all we grew here was Levi's blue jeans. Helped the West grow strong. But now we've added a whole new crop. New fabrics, new colors, new styles. Of course, the roots still go right down to these blue jeans. So folks know they're getting Levi's quality. Because here at Levi's, we put a little blue jean in everything we make.
Hello.
Linda, it's Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. I feel like I talk to you every
Yeah,
night.
about as often as you wash your hair.
Mark, you're being sarcastic.
Well, you're being a shampoo nut. I mean, just because every night shampoo is gentle enough to use every night doesn't mean your hair gets dirty enough every night to use it.
Mark, how often do you wash your face?
Every day. But what's that got to do with it?
Well, doesn't your hair get dirty as often as your face?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Every night, lemon, herb, and balsam shampoo from Helene Curtis.
The size reductions of some 77 cars are making news. Time says an amazing shrinking act. Newsweek calls it the big scale down. The size changes are significant. For example, the Ford LTD now has a
Man, that's a big car.
longer and wider than Chevrolet Caprice or Impala. In fact, the Ford LTD is now about the same size as the Cadillac DeVille. And LTD has more trunk space, is a little wider, even has more hip and shoulder room than the Cadillac, and of course Chevrolet. Yet LTD is priced not like the Cadillac. but comparably equipped, the Ford LTD is sticker priced like a downsized Chevrolet. So this year, when you pay a full-size price, make sure you get a full-size value, like Ford LTD. It has the full size of a Cadillac, yet it's priced like a downsized Chevrolet. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
Under the proposals that I recommended, no person would have to pay more than $750 a year for both hospital care and medical care. With that kind of protection, then nobody really has to fear all of their resources being depleted. I say frequently, and I mean it, there's no reason why somebody should go broke just to get well.
A sensitive man.
Yeah.
President Ford.
Government regulations
That hasn't
say we can make
changed.
our Hebrew national beef hot dogs from frozen beef. We don't. The government says we can use artificial coloring. We don't. They say we can add meat byproducts. We don't. They say we can add non-meat fillers. We can't. We're kosher and have to answer to an even higher authority.
On breakfast, Jack, and hurry.
Jack in the box. We're really cooking now. And make that a super scoop.
Actually, looks quite good.
Jack in the box. We're really cooking
Oh, it's Jack in the Box.
Restaurants, we're cooking up a lot more than great hamburgers.
We actually just got a Jack in the Box close to me. A new one.
Jack in the box. Now you're cooking Jack.
Now you are cooking Jack.
You know, one of the restaurants I used to go to when I was younger was Big Boy's restaurant. They're not around anymore. You can see them in Austin Powers movie, the Big Boys. But I remember we used to go there all the time, get waffles, pancakes, piled high with fruit. A lot of fun. And I think there was one inside of the Woolworths that we would go to. Man.
But a lot of our jobs have disappeared. A lot of the clothes Americans are buying for women and kids are imports. They're being made in foreign places. When the work's done here, we can support our families and pay our taxes and buy the things other Americans make. That's what it means when the label says union.
Look for the union label when you are buying what
Wow, I remember that jingle.
remember somewhere our union sewing, our wages going to feed the kids and run the house. We work hard, but who's complaining? Thanks to the ILG we're paying our wages, so always look for the union label. It says we're able to make it in the USA.
The most riotous comedies of all time. It's a mad, 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 mad world on the CBS Friday Night Movie.
It's a mad, mad, mad world.
30 stars and comedians in an
We actually just watched this with the kids a couple months ago. Well, probably about 7 months now, but seems like just yesterday.
Ring out the old year with It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Thousands rock and roll at Disneyland. Watch them live here at 11.
Introducing Chunky Dinners, new from Kennel Ration. Tender, bite-sized chunks cooked in a meaty gravy and 100% nutritious. In 5 flavors: beef, bacon and cheese, chicken and liver with egg, and hearty stew. New Kennel Ration Chunky Dinners.
Come and get new Chunky Dinners.
Ah, the party season. The fun of cleaning the house, of making
A couple more and then we'll switch over to the 80s.
full of guests. It's the perfect time for Colonel Sanders' holiday family feast. 9 plump pieces of juicy golden brown Kentucky Fried Chicken, plus family-sized servings of coleslaw, mashed potatoes and gravy, and 6 rolls. And you can take it all home for only about $5.49.
Colonel Sanders.
Holiday Family Feast sale ends this week, where you see the About $5.49.
Now there's a way to type that gets your paperwork done right and done fast.
Look at that computer.
Typing from Lanier. You want your work back error-free? No problem. Corrections are made here instead of on paper. Want to move a paragraph? No problem. Add or delete a sentence? No problem. Want your typing back sooner? No problem. Electronic typing. From Lanier. Call your
Wow.
Lanier office.
Electronic typing. Wow. I took typing in high school, and we learned on a word processor. So it wasn't an actual typewriter, the old school, with the bell and the return carriage. It was a word processor with a small little window up at the top. And I remember my teacher for typing, she looked like the 70's office lady. Hair in the bun, the big collar, the poofy wrist frills. She looked like she had just come off of, I don't know, Dick Van Dyke Show or something. She was the office woman of the early 70s. It was crazy. I got a C in that class, but now I can type pretty good. I guess practice, I got better.
Fatherly, youthfully, sensationally. Befits America, motherly, lovingly, so elegantly. Befits America's family, naturally. Befits America, all of America. Befits America, Yankee Doodle-lee.
Thanks, George. You know, so many people have been nice to me this year. I'd like to give them something, too.
Well, a lucky gift certificate is always in good taste, and it comes in any denomination to fit your budget. From food for a holiday dinner to an array of beautiful gifts at our larger discount centers, a lucky gift certificate can get almost anything. Spread the joy of Christmas with a gift certificate from Lucky. Because a merrier Christmas is what Lucky is all about.
What makes this television different from any other in the world? This button. It brings you a home video game built in, a Magnavox exclusive. One touch and it's Magnavox Color TV with a color picture of astonishing clarity. Touch again and it's...
Okay, that's Pong. That's Pong. Built into a television. I remember because that is the first home video game I ever played. Oh, God. Crazy. Mine was a console, and it played like eight or nine different variations of Pong.
Odyssey, America's favorite home video game. Why settle for just color TV when now you can have a built-in home video game too?
Gotta remember, color TV was new back then.
Only from Magnavox.
All right, we're gonna switch over to 80s commercials. We've had enough of the 70s. Now let's try for some 80s commercials, see what we got. Let's see.
It tastes so wonderfully. And all that vitamin C. You're gonna love High-C.
There's enough High-C for lunchtime and snack time with a High-C 9
High C. We never really got High C. We were drinking Kool-Aid.
Wrap up a great value in 6 great
We were a
tasty
Kool-Aid family.
You're gonna love High-C. Morning is your time. The earth wakes up with you. You always feel that spark of life in everything you do.
nuts. For you, it's as natural as the morning. No sugar added.
I like grape
no
nuts, actually. A little bit of honey,
honest, nutty
bananas. It's good
Post
stuff.
Grape Nut cereal. You know when you've got it good.
Yes, you know when you've got it good.
What are you doing, Inspector 12?
Inspector 12.
Our new Hanes waistband with Fruit of the Loom, trainee. Here, pull it. Men know our Comfort Weave waistband fits better. For one thing, it's stronger.
Wow, is it?
Now pull Fruit of the Loom's band.
It's weaker.
Of course. It's no contest.
Haynes wins the battle of the bands.
That's why we put our name on it, kid.
Hanes fits better than Fruit of the Loom.
Can other long-distance companies offer you all AT&T can? Take a closer look.
Wrong number? I'll credit you for that call.
We'll set up an 800 number so you can dial Rome directly. You can say.
Yeah, back in the day, you were charged for every phone call you made. It wasn't you pay so much a month like you have now with cell phones. It was you pay by the phone call. And you pay more if it's long distance. And you pay even more if it's after such and such a time or on the weekends. And the end of every month, we would get a large bill that showed us each and every call we made, time we made it, how long we were on. There was no hiding who we were talking to from our parents. They knew. They'd get the bill, they'd be able to look through, and they'd see. That didn't necessarily have names next to the numbers, but back then, you know, we memorized the numbers and who they belonged to. So if it was a family friend who had kids that you hung out with all the time, then your parents would know right off who that number belonged to. But yeah, you were charged for every single call.
Imagine long distance without all this. Only AT&T has such an extensive network of professionals who can answer questions and suggest ways you can save money. AT&T Long Distance. For over 100 years, when you reached out, we were there, and you can keep it that way. AT&T, the right choice.
Red Lobster presents new seafood trios.
Red Lobster. I actually worked at Red Lobster for a little while. I was a fry cook, and the fry station was at the far end of the kitchen, and there was a little zip line that they would clip baggies of shrimp or calamari or scallops to that had been pre-made, you know, pre-packaged, whatnot, put together earlier, not pre-packaged. They made it all in the restaurant. But they would clip it on to this zip line from the refrigerator station, which was down at the other end. And they would sling it all the way over to the fry station. And now, quite a lot of fun. We had lobster races in the kitchen at Red Lobster.
New seafood trios, all irresistible. And with half of them priced at $6.95, it's just like broiled Boston.
$6.95 for a dinner like that. Imagine that today. A dinner like that you could not get for $6.95 today, even at fast food. It'd probably be like $15 to $18, if you're lucky.
Bluefish, succulent scallops, and sizzling shrimp scampi in one delicious dish, and even a kids trio at $1.95.
$2 for a kids trio.
New seafood trios only for a few weeks, only at Red Lobster.
From the four corners of the world, it's the Smurfs like you've never seen them before in an all-new Smurf movie. Smurf Quest, coming Saturday morning.
That was Pappy Smurf.
Ricotta, which I really love a lot. Pizza with pepperoni, mozzarella, no bologna. A gorgeous thing, creamy chicken a la king. Weight Watchers has 23 entrees. That's more deliciousness than anybody else. 23 including chicken sweet and sour, southern fried or cacciatore, spaghetti, ravioli, hamezziti, macaroni. There's filet or fish or gratin. Oh, now what have I forgotten? Weight Watchers. This is living.
Skinny stickless, fat with flavor. Skinny, skinny, that's the shape of. Skinny stickless, fat with
Again, the amount of energy in these commercials is incredible. You don't get that today.
Slim Sticklets instead of 7 wide ones in a regular pack. New Sticklets in natural spearmint or peppermint.
Skinny stickless, fat with flavor. See how skinny, taste how fat.
Tuesday, a 2-hour movie, Going Ape. A hilarious comedy that'll drive you bananas. Tony Danza, Jessica Walter, and Danny DeVito are Going Ape Tuesday.
Uh-oh.
Discover the wonder this fall on NBC.
Is that Amazing Stories? That was a good show, Amazing Stories.
Burger King introduces chicken tenders, real fillets of all white meat chicken.
Think about that for a minute. Burger King introduces chicken tenders. Introduces. So they didn't have them before this. I mean, today we all know they have chicken tenders. I mean, they're there all the time.
Breasts, not formed bits and pieces of chicken like McNuggets, real chicken fillets.
And now get 25 chicken tenders in the party pack. A handy carrier that's great for picnics, perfect for parties.
I'm gonna be honest, do they still have chicken tenders at Burger King? I haven't been to Burger King in, my God, about 10, 15 years. I don't eat fast food anymore. I can't. I have a bite of fast food and I'm wiped out. It just wipes me out completely. But I don't know, do they still have chicken tenders today?
And new at Burger King.
Okay, let's just say I'm standing right here, okay? I turn around, I walk right up, and I confront her. She says, yes, a white lie. She says a white lie goes better with what I have on.
When he says I do it on purpose, I say I don't. When he says I do it unconsciously, I say I'm not doing it at all. I guess I lead him on, but it's not my fault.
So the English accent back in the 80s for America was something everybody was wanting. I mean, the whole Princess Diana thing was so alluring. It was everywhere. It was highlighted in Cheers. It was in commercials like this. She was everywhere. She was the idol, the icon. And it shows in commercials like this, that accent. They have to put it in. They love it.
I wouldn't do it if he didn't follow.
Some more cool weather on the way. Details on Nightcast.
At Duracell, the race to be the best, to be the king of the road, goes on and on. Which is why today's copper top battery lasts up to 30% longer than the ones we made just 2 years ago. 30% longer. Today's copper top from Duracell.
Be interesting to see how today's batteries
Battery lasts longer.
would last against batteries made the same way today as they were back in the 80s.
Speed up the way we make our Hillshire Farm smoked sausage.
Oh, yes,
Or if there's even any change from then till now.
Young man, you can't rush great taste. We hand select lean cuts of pork and beef and smoke them slowly, gently, for the taste that other sausage just can't beat.
He's right. Try it yourself. Delicious. I wouldn't change a thing.
Hillshire Farm, for our best taste every time.
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
Extra sugar-free gum.
Extra
Extra, the only leading sugar-free gum with NutraSweet, gives you extra refreshing flavor that lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra flavor for that extra long ride. Extra flavor for that extra long ride. When you chew it,
I'm singing these commercials in my head.
extra long time.
Extra lasts extra long.
It's new Kool-Aid coolers with 20% juice. You can chill it, spill it, splash it, cool it, sing it, flip it, flash
Yeah, all the Kool-Aid that we got was the mix Kool-Aid, the powder, and you mix it at home with a ton of sugar.
Icy fruity super juicy
with 20% juice.
Kool-Aid coolers make it cooler.
Frozen concentrated orange juice from Florida tastes fresh because it's frozen fresh.
The freeze is the reason it tastes so fresh. The freeze is the reason it tastes its best.
With the Florida seal of approval, you know.
Okay, so I've got to tell you this. I grew up in Tampa. We had orange trees in our backyard. And you can tell if it's been frozen. You can definitely tell. Especially if it's from concentrate. You can definitely tell.
It's 100% pure orange juice that meets standards even higher than the federal government's. And you know it tastes fresh because it's frozen fresh.
The freeze is the reason orange you smart.
What would you do if someone added sugar and salt to your cereal? You know, many cereals come with sugar and salt already in them. Up to 26 added teaspoons a box. But not Nabisco shredded wheat. The only thing in shredded wheat is the natural toasted goodness of shredded wheat. Nabisco shredded wheat. The only thing added to it is what you put on it.
The wizardry of Lucas. The mastery of Coppola. The phenomenal music and dance of Michael Jackson.
It's got to be Captain EO. Epcot. Yep, Captain EO.
In spectacular 3D. Coming.
So I remember when Epcot was being built and the big hype was coming up for Captain EO and this entire show that they were going to be putting on there. And I mean, it was something. Michael Jackson was huge. Disney was huge. And like I said, I lived in Tampa at the time, and we were about an hour away from Orlando and Epcot. It was, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone.
September 19th to Disneyland at Walt Disney World and nowhere else in the universe.
They played this one already. Oh, I see. We have started over. All right, let's stop this one. Let's take a look at another.
What is the problem? The new machine is acting up. The bars are bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
What do you suggest?
As your immediate supervisor, I needn't tell you the procedure. Call the boss. That's correct. You should only know how much he likes that machine.
It's his baby.
Rules are rules. Call the boss. Correct.
You know, he dedicated that machine to his mother.
I think you were on vacation. He loves it very much.
Any suggestions?
Introducing bigger mounds and bigger almond joy. The chocolate's bigger, the coconut's bigger, everything's bigger.
My wife. I love her.
Wow, look at him.
She can eat anything and not gain a
So young.
She's drinking my Diet 7-Up because this taste test proved it tastes better than
A lot thinner than he was.
Great.
Or was.
Now
Is
people
he still alive?
anything are drinking all the Diet
See.
7-Up. Is that fair? There'll be shortages, rationing.
Want some ice cream, honey?
No thanks, dear. I hate her.
Diet 7-Up.
How to start an impressive family art collection. First, find some talented local artists. Then inspire them with Crayola Happy Meal boxes from McDonald's. Every Crayola
Yep,
Happy
still
Meal
alive.
comes with your children's favorite McDonald's foods, plus an art kit with a McDonaldland stencil and 4 Crayola crayons or a Crayola marker. There are 4 sets in all.
some of the toys and things that we got in our Happy Meals, I mean, everything from glasses at Pizza Hut, because back then Pizza Hut was an actual restaurant that you could go and sit down in and eat at, to art kits like this from McDonald's, or collector cards from Burger King, or Transformer toys. I mean, you went to McDonald's and Burger King to get the toy, not to get the meal. The meal was good too. It was fun, you know, it was different than home. But you would go to get the toy. And I remember we would go to Pizza Hut so my mom could get the glasses. She loved those glasses. I mean, they had, it depends on the time of year, but they had the nice Coca-Cola glasses, and they were collectibles. A lot of fun to get those, and man, just the different things. I remember at one point, probably late 70s, early 80s, McDonald's had records, 45s, with their Happy Meals. And they were very, very flimsy. They weren't rigid at all. They would bend and flop like a, you know, floppy disk, but they would play on your 45 player. And yes, I had a 45 player.
A different one each week. With Crayola Happy Meal boxes from McDonald's, it's easy to build a family art collection. After all, you already have the family art gallery.
Excuse me, Daddy.
Buddy Ebsen returns in a 2-hour NBC family special. A young boy faces the challenge of his life to save his grandfather and their ranch. Stone Fox, Monday.
Babies, take your mark.
One of these diapers keeps babies so dry.
That's that.
Any thick diaper.
Go.
It's drier than all of them. Ultra Pampers. Even when it's wet, it's dry. Because Ultra Pampers' thin lock-away core locks wetness away from baby. You can pour on wetness, but you can't squeeze it out. The winner over all thick diapers is Ultra Pampers. Even when they're wet, they're dry. The driest.
Hey, what a plan for building a perfect cheeseburger. Start with cheese. Glorious cheese. A plank of Swiss over here. A perfect Swiss burger. Cut that cheddar for a bacon cheddar burger. Haul in the Monterey Jack. A perfect Mexican burger.
To get your plans, hurry to your grocer's meat or dairy case and enter the Build a Perfect Cheeseburger sweepstakes.
You could win a perfect patio and barbecue set.
With real cheese,
Barbecue.
the burger you build will be
perfect.
A recent taste test proved that Diet 7-Up tastes better than the other leading diet drinks.
Here, let me help you with this.
Here, let me help you put 5 more in there. Yeah. No, you don't need 1, you need 7.
Unfortunately, to avoid a shortage of Diet 7-Up, people who may not really need it may be asked to limit their purchase.
Diet 7-Up. I'd like you to try Rancher's Choice dressing from Kraft.
No thanks. I like Hidden Valley.
Oh, you're going to be tough.
You're not kidding.
You'll like Rancher's Choice even better. It's got lots of tasty herbs and spices.
So it's got lots of tasty herbs and spices.
And it's incredibly thick and creamy.
So it's incredibly thick and creamy.
So why don't you try it?
So I love it. Oh my goodness, it's delicious. I love it.
Rancher's Choice. Also in reduced calorie.
I love it.
He's a 42-year-old ex-Marine. He's a 14-year-old boy genius. Together, they'll trash the freshman class in Ruby's, premiering Friday.
Amazing stories. There it is.
The Willoughby's daughter was lost. That was 40 years ago. Then one night...
Daddy?
Friday.
This show, Amazing Stories, was one of the first, if not the first, to use computer-generated graphics in its intro. I have the series. It's great. It's amazing. Literally, from the title, it really is amazing.
Well, fans, it all comes down to this moment. This is where it all gets decided. Johnson steps in, checks the signs. makes a few adjustments. This is a classic confrontation. He's digging in. Here's the delivery.
I wonder how many people actually listen to baseball games on the radio anymore.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
7-Eleven slices prices. Take a look and save with these Price Slicer specials. 10-ounce original New York seltzer, all flavors just 49 cents a bottle. Ever-ready alkaline batteries, a single 9-volt or 2 packs of CD and AAA, $1.69, and 4 packs of AA are just $2.09. Get hot all-beef hamburgers with all the fixins, 59 cents. Cheeseburgers, just 10 cents more.
Wow.
Great everyday prices, plus super low specials are featured at participating 7-Elevens 24 hours a day.
So I used to go down to the 7-Eleven and we would play Donkey Kong. I think it was Donkey Kong on the arcade machine outside of the 7-Eleven. And at some point they changed it to Q*bert. Yeah.
Victory for women in the workplace at 11.
At 11. Oh, Teddy Ruxpin.
There's nothing in the way.
So Teddy Ruxpin was an animatronic bear, which was basically a plush toy that was very rigid with a cassette tape player stuffed inside of it and a mouth that moved. It was not cuddly at all.
World like a good friend.
You can say that again. Oh, Teddy Ruxpin is my friend.
And Grubby's my friend too.
That's me.
Teddy Ruxpin's pal Grubby, the best friend for your best friend.
Good news, baby. Now you can wiggle.
Crunch. Be a moving honey bunch. 'Cause now you can't wiggle wetness out of love.
Introducing Love's new Super Baby Pants. Thick diapers can bunch up when they're really wet, but Love's new thin padding can stay put. And once wetness is in, it can't wiggle back out.
No matter how you shimmy, shake, and jiggle, you can't wiggle wetness out of love.
And now some typical consumer reaction to an exciting Pizza Hut offer.
Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles. Right?
That's right, it's Flintstone Kids glasses.
Nope.
Betty, Wilma, and Barney. Just 49 cents with any Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
There's a different glass every week.
Yeah. See, this is just what I was talking about. These were the collectibles that we would get at places like Pizza Hut. You would be able to go in, sit down. It was a nice sit-down restaurant. They had a salad bar. I remember they had an arcade machine, a tabletop arcade. You sit on either side and play Pac-Man or something against each other. And you would order your personalized pan pizza that you got for free for reading so many books in the Book It program. And, oh, it was just so much fun to do and look forward to. And Mom would get these glasses. And, yeah. And God help you if you broke them.
You can collect all 4 for your kids. What do you say to that? Flintstone Kids glasses, only at Pizza Hut.
Max Headroom.
Any store crush? So new Coke is catching on. The taste is better and newer than.
So if there was YouTube back then, Max Headroom would have been the first VTuber.
You said the P word. So what I want to know is, if you're drinking Coke, who's drinking Pepsi? If you can't beat it, catch the wave. Coke.
Raise your hand.
Hold it, America. You can raise it or you can raise it higher.
Raise it higher. Now you're drier. Now you're drier with new improved Sure.
New Formula Sure Aerosol. Stronger ingredients that go on drier and keep you drier, too.
You got confidence, America, even more than before. Raise it higher. Sure is drier for sure.
will be teeming with people, tasting exotic foods from all over the world. Thank you. Is it good?
Good and spicy.
Now Anne is about to experience a problem that's universal.
I've got heartburn.
I've got heartburn.
I can.
Pepto for heartburn?
Sure. As Pepto coats, it soothes heartburn, as well as upset stomach and diarrhea.
I didn't know you could tongue us.
Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats, is the only one you need.
Those dedicated graduates are back.
Police Academy.
See them in your neighborhood. Well, you still have one. Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. Rated PG. Starts Friday, April 3rd.
Wednesday is Night Court ready for its new night. And on the Tortellis, Nick becomes Man of the Year.
Here's your honorarium. You have my gratitudium.
Then Joe Danzig's no ordinary man.
The days of the little red brick schoolhouse are over.
And this is definitely no ordinary show. The Bronx Zoo, premiering Wednesday.
And that's the end of that one.
Acting up. Bars are bigger.
Oh, wow. Lot of nostalgia there. We'll turn off the TV. A lot of nostalgia. Wow, I can't believe how many of those things just sparked up memories. Especially those cups, my goodness. A lot of fun. Well, we've been through the 70s and the 80s. Let's play a game from the 90s. Let's see how that goes. Like I said, it was a little bit hard to get this game to work, so I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to when I played it the first time, way back in '96. And when I played it with my kids, they loved it. And they loved the claymation. And hopefully you guys will like it. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called the Neverhood. Let's see. I love the music in this game. So this game is a puzzle game. It's point and click. Okay. So this is us, and we have to get our little guy across everywhere. So let's see what we can do. Let's click him. Go and click the button. We'll look out the window. Okay, let's try the door. Okay, so that bashes down the door. guess it doesn't want to move. So one of these rings is going to open the door, most likely. Because that's not going to do it. Okay. So that one opens the door, but we can't go through it. What does this one do? Nothing. Now I have a small advantage. I remember the beginning of this game. But I'll be honest with you, I don't remember much after this point. Because it has been a long time since I played this. So here it becomes first person for a bit. And we can look around. So that's where we came from. No, this is where we came from. So that's the door that's open. Let's go to this door. What's this? And we'll see what's on the floor here. Well, what was it? Okay, so this is a puzzle. We have to get classic sliding puzzle. Let's see. I think. That needs to go on top of that. That needs to go there. That there. That there. That there. So let's see what we can do here. I think I've already messed this up a bit. That there. I think we got it. All right, we opened another door. And here's another thing. I wonder if they're going to let us see what it is. I think I remember you plug them into here. Okay.
Hello. Me Willie. Me Willie trombone. These discs tell a story. Story about good. Story about bad. These discs are all that are left of the true story. True story of the closing of the third age. Willie know that once you know this truth, then you know what to do. Listen, I tell you.
Alright, so we've got to find more discs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 18 more we've got to find. Okay. Because cartoon physics. Okay, what is this? So a king, big robot, fire, and that's the recording device there, I think. Ooh, is that a disc? Let's see what this button does. Opens this door. And down we go. Let's grab this disc. I don't know what that did. And we'll pull the lever. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so I think it just plays it over and over again. So let's see if there's anything else down here. Father, quarter. Quarter is the only being Father has ever made. He has been a good friend of Father's for many eons. Quarter is the official go-between for all beings and Father. Since he himself is a being made by Father, not much can be learned about Father by looking at Quarter. But if anything is known to anyone about Father, Quarter revealed it. Quarter forged 7 crowns for 7 beings he created for Father to pour his approval on. Quarter left the comfort of Father's presence to pioneer a new world where his beings could make their own place in order to empathize with Quarter. Can we read what this says? I don't know. Yeah, we can. Father is a kind being whom no one has ever seen. Father is beyond our comprehension. All folks know is that he was here before there ever was a here. He is happy and enjoys existing. He is said to be great and powerful, and as far as anyone knows, there was no one before him. He is from the other side. No one has ever been to the other side, but it is supposed to be a great place where there is peace without death. Okay, let's see what else there is. Oh my goodness, what a story. Ogdala. Quarter made Ogdala as a kind of test subject. He gave Ogdala a crown, although he did not have a head to set the crown on. Ogdala is a mass of blue gas that barely self-aware. It is said that Ogdala is the spirit of adventure, since on the day he was made, he left Quarter's homeland, traveled in a straight line without stopping. He's picked up many particles from space which have made a happy home for themselves on Ogdala's back. Ogdala is now 1,000,000 times the size he was when Quarter made him, and the inhabitants includes the specks of Romalate. The specks of Romalate were in consistent conflict with the specks of Rod. The specks of Rod cultivated food on Ogdala's back, using their own spit. Okay. The specks of Romalate had no spit, but occupied most of the surface of Ogdala. The specks of Romalate were disgusted by all the spitting that the specks of Rod did, and they did not like stepping on it either. The strife between the specks of Romalate and the specks of Rod carried on for centuries. The conflict was never physically violent, but there was much whining, taunting, and heated sneering of heels and snow on. This period is known as the Abdallah Censure Hecht, or the 3 millennia of conflict, although it was really more like 2.5. During the Abdallah Censure Hecht, an incident happened that at once made all the specks forget their animosity, and at the same time exacerbated the conflict even more. In the 8th month of the 27th day, during the 11th year of the 1st century of the 2nd millennium of the Abdallah Censure Hecht, the specks of Romulat woke up to find a strange being of gigantic size asleep in Scrunchy Park. There was a pond by his head where he had drooled while he slept. A crowd of specks gathered around the Titan as the morning hours went by. The larger the crowd grew, the more specks talked among themselves. The hubbub finally became so loud that the giant awoke and sat up. The giant showed his great teeth and growled at them from deep within his huge body. The specks fed him for fear of being eaten alive. The giant could easily have thrown 3 or 4 of them into his mouth at once. He was very bizarre looking, even for a giant. He was like nothing they had ever seen before. His head had a ring of flesh on it that started almost at the very top, then looped down and joined the head again at the jaw. 3 specks, one on top of the other, could have stood up inside the rings. He had huge lips, which covered his enormous teeth, while the specks had no lips at all. Above the lips, almost to the top of the face, there were 2 ball-shaped things that had 1 dot within each of them. The giant seemed to use them to observe things, since the dots moved and pointed at whomever he was speaking to him. His torso was short for his size, while his legs were extremely long. Out of his chest stuck 3 spiked horns. For days upon end, the specks tried to speak to the giant, to find out if he was friend or foe. To no avail. His form of speech sounded too low down, deep, and loud. It reminded them too much of the rumbling growl that came from deep within his body. The specks did not like it, and they did not understand it. They could not even tell where one syllable ended and the next began, and comprehending sentences was totally impossible. To avoid hearing him speak, the specks fed him constantly. The specks of Romulat did not keep a guard posted where the giant was staying. They could never have overpowered him. In any case, the giant never threatened them. King Romulat had in mind to win over the giant's confidence so he might be employed to stomp on the specks of Rod. King Romulat often went to Scrunchy Park to speak to the giant. He wanted to impress the giant, so he had the best acrobats from Romulet circus come to visit him. The king commanded the unicyclist to do loop-de-loops inside the rings on the giant's head, while a high diver did trick dives off the huge lips into a barrel of water at the giant's feet. During these demonstrations of the circus performer's expertise, the giant did nothing but stand still and smile. Even while their trapeze artist swinging from the 3 spikes that stuck out from his chest, the giant stood like a stone sculpture with a silly grin on his face. King Romulite redoubled his efforts to continue to try. Oh, good lordy lord. To communicate with the giant. Once he saw that the giant would not harm the circus performers as they climbed and swung upon his body. Day after day, the king came out to where the giant was to try again to communicate his desire for the giant to walk over and stomp on the specks of Rod. The giant smiled a lot at the king. He nodded his head when the king nodded his head. He shook his head when the king shook his head. When King Romulite slapped his own forehead, the giant slapped his own forehead. When the king mimed walking and pointed in the direction of the kingdom of Rod, the giant stood up and did a dance. King Romulite was furious. While the giant was still dancing, the king ordered all specks of Romulite to throw things at him. Since they were feeding the giant all the time, the only stuff they had at hand was food, so they threw that at him. The giant tried to eat as much of the food thrown at him as possible, but he could not keep up with the furious pace with which the specks were throwing it at him. He turned and walked away from them and headed in the direction of the kingdom of Rod. Since the specks of Romulite had thrown so much food at the giant, no matter where he turned, he stepped into it. With each step, more and more food gunked up on the bottom of his feet. The specks of Romulite cheered and clapped and jumped up and down when the giant continued in the direction of Rod. The giant turned back to look at the specks, so they stopped their cheering and got ready to throw more food. But the giant did not come back. He continued on the way he was headed toward the kingdom of Rod. So the specks of Romulite had a great celebration. They hoped that as soon as the giant arrived in the kingdom of Rod, he would smush the specks of Rod, who were such a bother to the kingdom of Romulite. King Romulite gave a rousing speech. Well, that's that for the great giant. I suppose we owe a debt of thanks to the goofy Colossus, for he will shortly be stepping on the specks of Rod and making so much mush of them. His immense foot will crush our ancient foe in an instant. Squashed beneath his mammoth bulk, those unspeakable wretches will be reduced to the vile scum that they have always represented. We are now delivered forever from their constant whining, taunting, and hectoring. What feeble-minded titan is our national hero? Adultish whopper. He shall be the greatest of all figures in the history of Romulite. There is none equal to his block-headed enormity on all of Ogdola. But he did finally come through for us. A stupendously dumb gargantua. It is well, nevertheless, that we are rid of him. And I suppose we ought to be thankful that the half-witted behemoth did not stomp on us too. I cannot think of any reason why he would come back here. Can you? Meanwhile, the specks of Rod heard the giant before they saw him. His every step made a hollow drum sound on the debris-covered surface of Ogdola. They gathered into frightened groups, becoming more and more aghast as the booming steps grew ever louder. Finally, they saw him. They saw his big ringed head, his big lips, and his spikes sticking out of his chest. But what most impressed them were his feet. Actually, what most impressed them was what they saw stuck to the bottom of his feet. All the food that he had stepped on looked disgusting, but the specks of Rod did not know that it was food. The specks stood in stunned silence. They knew that the giant had come from the direction of the kingdom of Romulet. Their imaginations took over from there. The specks of Rod were convinced that the giant had stomped on the specks of Romulet and made mush of them. As the giant got closer and closer, word went through the crowd that the giant had finished off the specks of Romulet, and as now coming to their kingdom to stomp on them. Some of the specks ran away screaming, but most stood still, knowing they could not outrun the fearsome giant's feet. Then one speck of Rod started clapping. At first, the specks next to him thought he was crazy, but then they started clapping too. Soon, a small group was clapping. Then most of the crowd was clapping and cheering and jumping up and down as the giant approached. They had figured that if the giant thought they were glad the specks of Romulet had been stomped into pudding. Oh, good lordy lord. Then he might spare them and consent to be their hero. When the giant reached the front of the crowd, they whooped and hollered for a few minutes more. Then the crowd parted and King Rod made his way through to the front. There, before his people and the giant's feet, he made a speech. "Oh, great giant, thank you, mighty colossal allied thing, for stepping on the specks of Romulet and making so much mush of them. Your immense foot has crushed our ancient foe in an instant. Squashed beneath your mammoth bulk, these unspeakable hideous idiots have been reduced to the evil scum that they have always represented. We are now delivered from their constant whining, taunting, and bantering. You, magnificent Titan, are our national hero. Oh, necromaniacal whopper, you shall be the greatest of all figures in the history of Rod. There is none equal to your fabulous enormity on all of Ogdala. You, tremendous Gargantua, shall be second only to myself, unless of course you would rather be number one. By the way, we thank you, phenomenal behemoth, so very much for not stomping on us too. I can only offer our humble kingdom to you, amazing monstrosity, as compensation for the wonderful deed you have accomplished today. It is not a kingdom worthy of your monumental grandiosity, of course. You won't like it much. You will probably not like anything we offer you, since it is all tiny compared to your gargantuan size, but of course anything we have is yours. But I don't know what you would do with it. I say, do you understand me?" The giant smiled at the specks of Rod, who smiled back until he spoke to them. To the specks, his voice sounded slow and deep and slurred. They looked at each other and shrugged their shoulders. The specks of Rod decided to go back to what they were each doing before the giant arrived. As they left, they kept looking over their shoulders to make sure the giant was not lifting one of his big feet to stomp on them. He did not move from where he stood and maintained his smile until they were out of sight. The next day, the giant was right where the specks of Rod had left him, only he was sitting. So the specks went about their daily chores, and occasionally they would look over their shoulders at the giant just to make sure he had not stood up. This did not change for several days. Finally, the giant got up and started following some specks around. He seemed to be watching them as they went about their everyday tasks. He still smiled as he watched them, but not as much. Day after day, month after month, season after season, he watched them, tending their fields from planting to harvest. At harvest time, many specks noticed how much thinner the giant looked, and how little he smiled as compared to when he had first arrived in the kingdom of Rod. As they talked about it, they realized no one had seen him eat while he had been there. Some of the specks got together and brought food to the giant. When he saw that they had brought some food to him, the giant looked horrified. He got up and ran off far away from the kingdom of Rod and Romulan. There is no official record of when the giant was seen last or who saw him, but a few specks from both kingdoms insist that they saw the giant ascend into the heavens early one morning a few years after he ran away from the kingdom of Rod. About the time that the giant ran off, spies from the kingdom of Romulan came to the kingdom of Rod and saw that the specks of Rod were not obliterated. They noticed that their enemies were not even bruised a little. This report went back to the king of Romulan, who was shocked and upset that once again the specks of Rod had foiled his own speck kingdom. He ordered a delegation to go to the kingdom of Rod and meet with a delegation of the specks of Rod. When the delegation of Romulan arrived at Rod, there was much shock and agitation. "You are supposed to be squashed," said the representative of Romulan. "Well, you're supposed to be squashed." "You're supposed to be squished," said the representative of Rod. Tension rose and accusations flew. Each side blamed the other for making their king's most famous speech a pack of lies. The delegation gave a message to each other to take back to their respective kings about how... Good lordy, lordy, lordy. It looks like it's the end over there. How there could never be peace between the two kingdoms. As they left the meeting, they all thumbed their noses at each other. The Ublastencher hack was back in full swing. Let's see if I'm pronouncing this right. King Relonate grew tired of the thousands of years of bickering between his specks and King Rod's specks. In a desperate move to bring about a day of peace, he asked for a secret meeting with the King Rod at the center of Ogdala. In the 34th month of the second day during the 89th year of the 5th century of the 3rd millennium of the Oblastencher hack, the kings met. The two kings reasoned for 2 weeks, trying solutions that were fair for both kingdoms, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Ogdala himself had grown so tired of the angst he felt on his back that he spread all of the specks of Rod to one half of his back and all the specks of Romulan to the other half of his back. In a violent quake, Ogdala split into 2 beings which floated independently of each other. The only problem was that King Rod ended up on the half of the back with the specks of Romulan, and King Rolanate found himself on the half of Ogdala with the specks of Rod. King Rolanate was at first mistaken by the specks of Rod to be as King Rod, but quickly corrected the specks of Rod. He quickly corrected the specks of Rod, announcing that he was King Rylanate. The specks of Rod immediately cut him into pieces and fed him to their young. Whoa! King Rod, however, told the specks of Rylate that he was indeed their king, and since few specks of Rylate had ever seen their own king, they believed him. Eventually, King Rod had the specks of Rylate build him a large castle which housed his children, who were half speck of Rod and half speck of Rylate. King Rod, posing as King Rylate, lived to see his specks harmoniously blend where it was previously thought impossible. The specks of Rylate did not cultivate food on Ogdala's back using their own spit like the specks of Roddy did. Instead, they rubbed their heads on the fine hairy grass-like particles that had attached themselves to the cover of the Rylate portion of Ogdala's back. The rubbing caused static charges to build and build until small arcs of lightning flashed off the speck's head. Ogdala's blue gas in the immediate area of the arcs of lightning reacted by turning into bite-sized cubes of lime-flavored finger snacks. This was the sole source of food for the specks of Rylate. Every 247 days, this was 1 year for the specks of Rylate. chosen arbitrarily because they did not have seasons, the Specs had their annual feast, which was called Phalange per Jungi. The great day began with a concert of rubbing, where the entire population of Ryulate, young and old alike, rubbed their heads on the hairy particles until they collapsed exhausted, unable to lift a limb. About 3 hours after this frenzy, some Specs regained enough strength to shakingly pull themselves upright. Then, the male Specs began the harvest of the cubes, while the female Specs prepared gastronomic delights such as cube fondue, cube salad, cube roast, cube soup, cube and cube on a stick for the kids, cube pasty, cube fillet, cube pie, cube relish, cube stuffing, blackened cube, cube kebabs, cube sherbet, deep fat fried cube, cube cake, deep fat fried cube cake, barbecue cube, cube chowder, glazed cube, cube pandori, broiled cube, blackened cube, cube thermidor, cube on the rocks for the adults, steamed cube, smoked cube, and of course Susan's cube bubble leaf. While the delicious smells of the cube cookery were filling the air, those who were not busy found time to participate in the fun Phalange per Jungi games, which, like, come over here. Hey, you just bumped my friend's elbow. Are you just going to stand there? And this is my bucket. The day culminated with the Phalange per Jungi dance, which they performed lying on their backs with their feet high in the air as they could possibly get them. First prize going to the dancers with their feet highest up. King Rod, whom the Specs of Ryulate thought was King Ryulate, used the occasion of Phalange per Jungi to campaign for re-election, since 12 days after the picnic was polling day. The Specs voted every year, but they only had two choices, King Rod of the green ballot or King Rod of the purple ballot. Either way, Rod got re-elected. Oh, please tell me. Oh, goodness. Oh, man, oh, man. A lot to read. I did not remember all this reading. Phalange per Jungi was the Specs of Ryulate's forgotten Day of Atonement. They knew that in their past was a definite day set aside as a Day of Atonement, but it was forgotten before King Rod ever took over the position of King Ryulate. At least they knew there once was a Day of Atonement, but the Specs could not remember what they needed atonement for. After King Rod took the throne, a Spec named Hefmut, during the demolition of the shoe foundry, found a vague historical reference to a Day of Atonement called Phalange per Jungi. The king's advisors advised that the king to declare a new Phalange per Jungi and to have the marketing department think of some fun things to do on it. No one could think of anything they needed atonement for, so the day was mostly remembered for the annual feast or for the dancing thing. The Specs of Ryulate determined that one day was over and a new day had begun by having the day determiner hold the determiner stone out at her side at arm's length. When that day's day determiner could no longer hold her arm up, the day was declared done, and the next day determiner took up the stone. Being day determiner was a prestigious honor, but no she-spec was allowed to do it more than once a year. Ryulate Specs married in threes, 2 grooms and a bride, or 2 brides and a groom. In either case, the spouse with the 2 counterspouses had to alternate every day being the spouse to one and then the next day to the other. Each spec year the sequence is renewed, starting with the spouse who was shorted by one day the previous year. The marriage ceremony of Ryulate was short and simple. The three specks went before the king on the assigned day of their marriage appointment. Each stated their vows, which consisted only of a promise to abide by the custom of the spouse alternating and the promise to never get ugly. The vows were repeated in this way. The king said to each speck in turn, "Do you, blankety blank blank, promise never to get ugly?" To which they responded in turn, "I do." Then, in the case of the groom and the two brides, for example, the king said to the groom speck, "Repeat after me. I, blankety blank, take you, blankety blank, to be one of my wedded wives, and you, blankety blank, to be the other of my wedded wives." Annulment usually stemmed from one of the two brides or one of the two grooms, in the case of one bride and two grooms, feeling slighted because she was not the first one named in the vow. Divorce usually stemmed from one spouse being cheated out of his or her fair share of marriage days on the leap year, when an extra day went to the spouse, who then renewed the New Year's sequence. Oh my good lordy. I think we're gonna skip the reading because I don't think any of this really does much but backstory. Let's see if there's an end to this. Oh my goodness. I'd be here for days reading all this. Quite the story, though. Oh goodness. Somebody must have had fun just writing all this. I wonder if they actually expected people to read all this. Oh my goodness gracious, it just goes on and on. There is no way, even in '96, that people would read all of this, even when the attention spans were longer. Oh, there's the guy. Spiky chest. There's got to be an end to it somewhere. This is insane. Oh, that's cute. Gave him a teddy bear. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no way in the world I'm going to be reading all of that out loud. My throat's killing me. And of course, there's a disc right there. And what's out the window? A branch. I'm gonna get a little sip of Coca-Cola here. Okay. So now we've got to trek back through all those rooms. Oh my goodness. I honestly hope there wasn't anything in all of that text that we needed, because there's no way in the world. Watch it be the solutions to all of the puzzles in the rest of the game. Okay, bear with me just a second here. Just realized I didn't change the tag of what we're doing. I don't want to get in trouble. So let's just put it on retro. There we go. There we go. All right. I don't want to get in trouble with the powers that be. Like I said, I'm new at all of this, and I forget to change these things. All right. I'm very new. I apologize. I will get used to this. This is, what, my 4th stream? And the first one was just trying to get through technical difficulties with OBS. But I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun. You know, even if people are just stopping by once in a while, even if they don't hang around, still having a lot of fun. Maybe one day in the future, people will look up these videos. I'm going to be posting this to YouTube, and they will see these games and the fun that we're having, and hopefully it'll get them to watch the rest of my shows, videos. I've got a puppy down at my feet. He's getting comfy. He just likes to be next to me. He's deaf. I have a deaf little dog. So I've been contemplating on starting a Discord, and I think I'll start that up after the stream. I'd like to see if I could start a Dungeons & Dragons play-by-post server on the Discord. I had one in the past. Unfortunately, it was it wasn't through Twitch, or, you know, that wasn't the way that I advertised for it, and some of the people that got into it were not very nice, so to speak, very raunchy, and not the type of people I really wanted there. After a year, I ended up stopping the server, and just, I was done with it. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. was very disappointing because every session, all they wanted to do was turn everything sexual. It was very bad. Oh no, we've been in there before. We don't want to go back in there. Yeah, we've already gotten that. So let's go back up and out. Yeah, we've been there. But yeah, it was very disappointing, just the quality of people that were in that server at the time. It's just, but you know, I'm feeling that I can try to start it up again, and hopefully with this new crowd, the new people that I've met, hopefully they'll want to join in and play some Dungeons and Dragons, play by post. So we're missing one right here, and I don't want to play the rest until we get that one. So let's go ahead and reach out and see what else we can find. But a play-by-post server is a kind of like a message board where you have a general chat that's ongoing, a common room, so to speak, in a tavern, and then sub-channels where you would go out on an adventure with a couple of people or alone or whomever, and designated DM or myself, if I'm the designated DM for that adventure, would wait for your moves and, you know, work from there. And it's not like you would sit for a few hours and play. You would type in your move and your what you wanted to do, and then you would wait for the next person or the DM to get back to you. And it was rather a very laid-back type of an adventure. I mean, sometimes we would play in such a way that we were able to, you know, get some of it done, you know, a bunch of moves all at once. But for the most part, you'd make a move and come back the next day, and, you know, or an hour or two later and whatnot, and then carry on with the journey. And I kind of liked that because there was no real pressure to do anything in a certain amount of time. You could think out your moves and what you wanted to do. You could see if it was something that was viable. Maybe even look up the rules and see if it's something you actually wanted to do. So maybe we'll start that up. I'd like to have some picture channels, things like that we could share pictures of our critters. Or maybe if you guys do some gardening, you can share pictures of your garden, and I can share pictures of mine. So I think I remember this. There's a water fountain somewhere. Or is this it? Yeah, I think there's a water fountain somewhere that we fill these and make them make the sound of this. Okay, so we gotta find the water fountain. So we've been in there. I think that's where we came from, right? Yeah, that's where we came from. So we don't need to go back in here. That's that. What is over here? Well, we have a disc, so that's good. All right. What is this? So I'm pretty sure we've got to change out everything to build it with diamond. So that's not what we want. We want him to be all like that. Okay, so I think we did it. Yep. Okay. That does not sound good. Okay, let's see where else we can go. How are you guys liking the game? Like the claymation, the what do you guys think of the animation style here? So that's where we just came from. Let's go ahead one step, and then we'll turn. Okay, what's this? Nice. Water. Okay. So does this fill the other one as well? Because remember, there was one of those by the pipes. What's this? Looks like a potato tree. Barp. Okay. So we just did that. Okay. What else we got going on here? We know that's the fountain. And that's the tree. So let's go back one step towards the fountain. Back here. Now, does this go all the way, or can we turn again? This goes all the way. Okay. So we already know if we click on the door, we get that. What is this? Oh, goodness. All right. So in real life, I really don't care for these things. They do make me jump. Doop 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 doop. Boop. Uh-oh. And there he is. Oh, nice. Of course. Smiles at him. Ow, yeah. Yep. Ah. It's a match. And I think I know what we're gonna do. Yep. A lot of people don't know about those Strike Anywhere matches. All they know are matchbooks. So, was there anything else we need to do in here? Can we go check this out? Like, did he leave something there, or what happens when we click on this now? Oh. But do we want to do this yet? I don't think we want to do this yet. I think we want to go and check out and see if the water from the turning on that fountain did anything for the other fountain. So we can't click on this symbol anymore, but that's okay. All right, let's head back to the other side and see if we can work out that pipe game, the pipe puzzle. Oh, I'm hearing water. So it must have, either that or that's just the bridge. But I think it's the fountain. Well, let's see. What does this do now? Yes! I did not know he had a cup. Oh, of course he's gonna drink it. Okay. Oh my goodness, it'll spew it out each time. Okay. So we've got to memorize this. How many tones? I think there are 5 tones. And it goes... Let's see if I did it right. Nope, not quite. So is the first tone correct? Nope, it's too low. So if I do 3, 2, starts with 3. 3, 2, 3. Three, 2, 3, 2, 5. Three, 2, 1, 2. Maybe? Not quite. So these two are the same. 3, 2. Come on now. Listen, listen. Here, here, here. Is it? Nope. Too high. Too high. So let me see. Is that the right pitch? That's the right one. So that's 3. not very good at musical puzzles. There's one in Myst as well. So 3. No, that's wrong. That was 3. So that's low. Is that right? Nope. I'm getting it wrong. What am I getting wrong here? I gotta use a notepad. Telling you, I am not very good at these type of games. Let's see. I love them. But I'm not really great at them. All right, so 3, 2. Correct? 3, 2. Let's see. Nope, that's too high on the second one. The first one is 3. Maybe it's 3, 1. Let's try 3, 1. Yep, 3, 1. 3, 1, 2. Let's try it. Yep. 3, 1, 2. And was that a 1 as well? 3, 1, 2, 1. Let's try 4. That one's too high. Fourth one is too high. So we do a 1 again. Nope, that's a 1. Oh, I think that's a nothing. That was it. 31205. If at first you don't succeed, try 37 more times. Oh, and there's a time limit. Oh no. Did it empty? It did not empty. Okay. Whew. Okay.
Hey, claim it. Say knock knock.
Knock knock? How do I say knock knock? Not sure how to say knock knock. Okay. I don't know how to say knock knock. Okay, so that will be the elevator thing. Hey, buddy. Okay, I have to pause for just a second. I think I gotta let my little deaf puppy out. So I'll be right back. Gotta go out, buddy? Well, you wanna stay? You stay? You stay. No, he wants to stay. He just doesn't know where he wants to be exactly. So I think he's just going to curl up at my feet again. He needs a little attention. All right, so where are we? Let's see here. Oh, another disc. Okay. Do we have enough to look? Oh, yes, so we can watch some.
It all starts with Hoborg, a being who had to create because he had to.
Because he had to.
He make a world full of beauty and wonder. This world, the Neverhood, a world where he could live forever and evermore. Hoborg thought this world would make him happy, but it make him sad.
Make him sad.
Walking around his big, beautiful new world make him feel all alone.
Okay, so we need to find some more discs so we can see what else we're missing here. How do I say knock knock to this guy? Oh, there's another disc right there. I didn't see that before. Let's go put that one in and see where it leads us. All right, does this tell us the next one or something further off? Nope. So we need two more before we watch, because I don't want to get half a story. Okay. So let's go back to that elevator thing. Was this where we go through? No, not here. So, been through there. Go one step this way. And then over the bridge. Okay. Yep, been through here. And now we're going to go on to that cart. Okay. So now, let's just go straight across. There's nothing over there yet, so I don't think we can go anywhere yet. Nope, can't go over there. So we kind of have to go down. Round and around and around. Round and around and push the button. I don't know what the button did, but we pushed the button. And round and round and round and round and round. And up. Did that give us another way to go? No, it did not. So there has to be something else we can do around here. That's where we just were. Okay. If we go to the tree again, I think we're just going to eat another potato. Yep, just going to eat another potato. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. Okay, yeah, we get it, we get it. No more potatoes for him. Oh, man. Oh, I have no idea how long this goes on for. Oh, goodness. Okay, we leave the tree alone. We don't get the tree anymore. And we know that's the fountain. So I think we're done with this side. But I don't know where else to go now, because haven't we done it all? I don't know. What's down in here? Yeah, I don't think we've been in here yet. Nope, we have not been in here, so what do we do? So we need to find a red button. So we found a blue button, and we found a white button. We need to find the red button. Okay, so where would the red button be? Oh goodness, I hope it's not at the end of that long corridor. I really hope it's not at the end of that long corridor. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. See if there are any red buttons. Can I get up here? We can go down. I did not know we could go down. Clay guy, make the foghorn noise next to Frenchie. He is my pet. William. The foghorn noise. Alright, so we can't go backwards from where we've started, or can we? Nope, can't go back there. So let's see where that red button is. We need to find the red button. Shiny red button. Is that the red? Is the button on the floor the red button? And maybe I just pressed it one too many times? No, that's the button to that. Okay. So let's go back here and see if we find any other red buttons. Nope, no red buttons. Bet you he knows where the red button is. Where, oh where can that red button be? So that's where we came from. That's where the locks are. That's that. The red button has got to be around here somewhere. Right? No, because that's where the blue button was. So it's got to be at the end of the long corridor. So we've got to go back into the H building. It's got to be. All right, let's do it. And here we go. So that was that button. That's the blue button. I don't think there was another button down here. I don't remember there being one. I don't remember there being a button at the end of this hallway. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it. It's about as long as that burp. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't try to read all of this because that was something. And I've got to say, I'm not a great reader to begin with, at least not when I read out loud. I mean, I love to read. I have a house full of books and I love to read, but I don't do well reading out loud. Oh, does it ever end? Oh, goodness. And we've got to go back through this. No button. Oh my goodness, no button. Alright, well, let's go back and we've got to try to find that button. So this one was where the blue button was that we pressed. Okay. On and on. Oh, goodness me, oh my. I'm going crazy with this. Oh. This is like punishment. Oh, 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 oh. Almost there. Almost there. Keep going. Too bad he can't run. Oh, thank goodness. There we got the green. Is that the green button? Okay. Oh, goodness me, oh my. So we are not going down that corridor again. Alright. So we got the button in there. No. We've got the button to where we just were. We got the button across the bridge. We need to find a button in here. There's got to be a button in here. Right? Wasn't there? There's got to be a button in here. So there's the gun. There's no button in here. There's no button in here. Is there a button up there? How do I get to it? Okay, so we've eliminated pipe building. We already went through the H. Can't go any further in there. It's gotta be on the other side of the bridge. But where? Okay. Is there another button in here? That's the red button. Or a red button. Well, let's go see if that did it. Maybe the water has to be off for us to be able to do that. Let's see. Nope, we still don't have that red button. So it wasn't the water fountain. It's... We're not going to go down the corridor. So there's the green button. There's the blue button. Can we go further down? Can't go further down. Well, where's the red button? Red button has got to be somewhere. Let's see. Where have I not looked? We looked in the pipe building. Where have we not looked? We've done that button already. That's the fountain. There's got to be something with the pipes that we just haven't seen. Oh, that's a good view. All right, let's go back to the pipe house. There's got to be something there. There's 2 floors. Have we gone to the top floor? Can we go to the top floor? Still don't have those. Maybe we need to trying to think this through. If we extend the spikes out on the other door to close, will these extend as well? Nope. So is that a button or is that just clay? Just clay. All right. I think we should go and press the button that had the other spikes retract and then see if it's like if they're connected. I think that is because maybe if you open one, the other shuts and vice versa. See how these are slid back? Now that these are out, maybe it controls the other ones as well. So let's check that out and see. Come on, go through the door. Nope, we just came from there. Okay, so we go forward. And inside of this building, okay. Let's see if that worked. It did. Can we go up here? And we've got a disc. Ah! What the heck is this? Ew. Okay, so we don't do that again. But we press this button. And now we should be able to open that cave door. Let's put the disc in here though and see if we can see more of the story.
But then, Hoborg get him an idea. He said,
I know. I'll make a friend to enjoy this world with me.
I know. I'll make a friend. Okay. All right, let's go down the cave and unlock it and see what we get. A bridge to the gun. All right, let's see what we can do. What's over here? Okay. So we're going to need to remember that symbol. So I don't know those symbols. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What did we do? Okay. Down the drain. And of course there's a drain down there, because why not? So I'm going to write down this symbol so I remember it, because I'm not very good at remembering those things. It's okay, buddy. Yeah. My foot just got him. Okay. Kind of like pi almost. Oh, another symbol. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Let's see. Alrighty, so I'm not really sure what to do now. I think we've really done everything that we can up here. I think we need to figure out what is going on down there. So I don't think it's going to benefit us to go back up. I think I've got to transcribe these symbols and try to figure out what they are. All right. And then we're back to the beginning. All right. So let's go in here. Let's see what in here does. Okay. One of these, I think that one. Okay, and then we need a P, kind of like a IP, this one. Now we need a B. Okay. That one. That one. That one. This one. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Now this one. Okay. Now what? Oh, that just made the bridge go down. I see. Yep. Yep, we're gonna go down now. Yeah. Okay. I think he's unsure. Whoa. Not even a banana peel. Okay guys, I think we're going to take a little 5 because I have to just take a quick minute, go to the restroom here, drinking a little bit of water, but I will leave you with a couple of commercials so that you guys are entertained. I will not be that long, I promise.
Mr. T will return after.
All right, I'll be right back.
Now, it's here. The excitement, the adventure of a new force at breakfast.
We'll call them C-3POs.
New C-3PO cereal from Kellogg's. Twin rings, phase together. For 2 crunches in every double O. A delicious part of this nutritious breakfast. Now you can experience the taste of Kellogg's C-3POs. A crunchy new force at breakfast.
May the Force be with you.
Clover's stolen our plans. He's escaping in the Viper glider. Joe, catch him.
The G.I. Joe Falcon glider, flying high in the sky, sailing through the air. He's America's fighter. G.I. Joe can fly. He's a real American hero, flying high in the sky. He's chasing Cobra in a desperate race, soaring and diving in a great sky chase.
You did it, Joe.
G.I. Joe Falcon Glider and Cobra Viper Glider sold separately. Figures included from Hasbro.
Now
Now stay tuned for The Amazing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. A bad guy poses as Spider-Man and goes on a crime spree, but can he fool the Spider friends? Next. Tonight on Different Strokes, will Willis be voted prom queen? Then on Jennifer Slept Here, Jennifer says yes to an old flame, but will she say I do? Be there.
Message for Ronald McDonald!
I do believe this mailbox is addressing me. McDonald's Happy Meal! Hamburger!
Suffrage!
All regular size! Now that's what I call special delivery.
Skiing? Gymnastics?
When you buy a McDonald's Good Sports Happy Meal, you get sports games, cutouts, even sports quizzes, plus a surprise inside. 4 different Good Sports Happy Meal boxes at participating McDonald's.
The Amazing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk will return after these messages.
Watch me scare Fred out of his pebbles.
Yow, Martians!
Delicious.
Barney!
Whoops. Got a blast on.
Post Pebbles cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast. Now from Pebbles, you can get a Fred Flintstone flying disc. Or Barney. Or Dino. For fun with a twist, it's a Flintstone flying disc. What an specially marked box of Post Fruity or Cocoa Pebbles cereal.
Sidewinder, the wheels twist behind her.
Try and catch me.
It's the big new Sidewinder cycle. Your parents put it together, and Sidewinder's got the Stunt Shifter.
Sidewinder.
With sure grip steering, super sleek styling, and a stunt shifter that can spin you into excitement.
Sidewinder, the wheels twist behind her.
Sidewinder cycle with Stunt Shifter. New from Tonka.
We now return to The Amazing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. The Amazing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk will return after these messages.
Rebo's got the beat, and the band plays on. You can relive it all with Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection. Introducing Size Noodles and the Rebo Band. Jabba the Hutt action playset sold separately.
Play it again, Si. Starring Size Noodles, Droopy McCool on clarinet, Max Rebo on organ. Ribbit Rebo. Dance, Droopy. It's your last solo, Snoodles. Whoa.
New Size Noodles and the Rebo Band. Jabba the Hutt action playset sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection.
Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups. Real fruit and fun rolled up in one.
You can peel them, you can poke them. Fruit corners. You can tear them, you can share them. Fruit roll-ups. You can rock them, you can roll them. You can really get to know them.
Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups are the chewy snacks made with real fruit that you unroll, peel, and chew.
You can stretch them, you can chew them. Fruit corners. You can pass them, you can ooh them. Fruit roll-ups.
Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups, now in great tasting grape.
Class, what animal do you think of when I say honey?
Frogs.
Frogs.
Because now I make honey smacks.
Diggum makes them honey smacking good.
You know a lot about honey, Diggum. What kind of grades did you get?
Bees.
Kellogg's Honey Smacks.
Part of this good-for-you breakfast.
Now you can enjoy a scrumptious Dairy Queen sundae free. Medium size in your favorite yummy flavor. The free coupons on specially marked packages of Honey Smacks.
Here comes Point Dread and the Talon Fighter, including adventure book and story record with sound effects. Action figures sold separately.
Let's hear He-Man and Skeletor on the Point Dread story.
I, Skeletor, will finally defeat He-Man!
I'll use the Talon Fighter to stop Skeletor!
In a flash, He-Man's hurled through space and time.
Surrender to the power of Point Dread's Talon Fighter!
You win, He-Man, but I'll be back! Point Dread and the Talon Fighter with record and storybook. You have to put it together. Action figures sold separately from Mattel.
I remember I had He-Man and Castle Grayskull and Skeletor and all those guys. It was a lot of fun. All right, let's go back to our game. All right. Where are we? Danger. Don't jump in the drain. You will die. What do you think? Should we? Oh, the end? No way. I guess they really meant it. No games were saved. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I will get us back to this point, save it, and we won't play it on the next stream, but I will set it up so we can play it on a different stream. And we will have a Neverhood Part 2. So now that I know where everything is, I can speed run it and get us back to where we are, and I will save the game, and I will not move ahead. I will not do any spoilers, and we can play it together. All right. So we have watched a couple commercials. We have been down memory lane for the 70s and 80s. Played a very fun game. Had a great time. Let's check in on the ladies, see how they're doing. How are my chickies? Let's see. How are the chickens? Okay. How they doing? How my ladies doing? They seem to be getting ready for the night. It's about 8:30 here. So in about half an hour or so, it'll start getting dark. They're getting ready. They're all relaxing. About 4 or 5 of them sit out here. And, you know, out on the porch there. I leave the door open for them at night. I close the big door to the pen, so they're fully enclosed at night. They're safe. They're not going to get attacked. There's fencing about 8 feet up, all around them. So nothing's gonna jump in there with them. Perfectly safe. And during the winter, when they get in, I will close the door so that the heat stays in the coop for them overnight. But for now, they like to sit out on the edge and relax. I bet they're tired from all the heat. Let's move this over here a little bit, and we'll enlarge it so you can get a better view. And yeah, move me over just a little bit. There they are. Everyone's filing in. All right. There's a 3-tiered perch inside. It's 2-tiered, but there are 3 perches. The center one's up high, and the 2 are on either side or down lower. They can all fit on there, and there are 3 nesting boxes on the back end. So there's plenty of room inside for them. Plenty of bedding in there. They have a great time. Easy life being a chicken. Put that back up where it belongs, right up there. Okay. Well, I have had a great time with you guys tonight. Like I said, I'll get the game ready for next time. Well, not next time, but a future stream. We'll play Neverhood Part 2. And as for next week, I am not sure what we're going to do, but tomorrow I would like to play Tales from the Shire. I just got the game. I have been looking forward to playing Tales from the Shire since I heard about it almost a year ago. It looks amazing. I have intentionally not watched other people play it because I don't want any spoilers. I want to get on this thing brand new and just play it right from the get. So tomorrow at 1 Eastern, I will be streaming and playing Tales from the Shire. I hope you guys will join me there. I'll be putting out some announcements so that y'all will know. And we'll have some fun. We'll chat for a little bit first. Maybe I'll find some videos we can watch together. Maybe some cartoon intros. Those are always fun. Some obscure ones that not everyone else has played 1,000 times. But very obscure cartoons from the 70's and 80's. Things that people don't really remember. All right. Thank you for joining me. Again, I had a great time. And you guys have a good night. Relax. Go be with your family. Say hi. And hope you have a great night. Thank you.